Okay. Everything seems to still be working the same way. I'm still getting the same error messages. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Let's try. Okay. Well, everything still looks to be running the same so far. So, Diane, I just sent you a DM in Twitter. So if you want to step in for a minute, just... I guess it hasn't gone away quite yet, but with Google, who knows?
And I just got it.
There you are.
Hi.
I guess it hasn't gone away quite yet, but
okay.
With Google, who knows?
And I just got it.
There you are.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to turn off the stuff.
Okay. Yep.
Now, there we go. That ought to be better.
Okay.
Very
so
well.
all the original bugs are still in place.
Okay. Well, at least we still have those, and we're all in a comfortable and what's
right.
the word I'm looking for? Familiar spot. Yes.
Yeah.
Familiar.
Bob, this is still the same old Hangouts. That's really all I wanted to check, was that if it was still running or if they had canceled it already, because was getting contradictory information about when it was going to disappear.
Now, I will be mildly pissed if I got meat early, but no big thing.
Yeah, well, I'm just hoping that it stays around at least through Sunday, so we can run the stream on something I'm familiar with.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's looking into the other stuff.
Well, Angie got what's that thing with the duck called?
Yeah, the SteamYard.
Yeah, that one. She got that running. I was on with her.
Okay.
She had a little bit of a rough time at first with audio. Couldn't get my audio in, but she finally managed to get that working.
Yeah, the SteamYard and the Jitsi are the two that I've got to check out now. I've got to read up on them.
And I am going to have to, not right now, I mean, it's goddamn 3:30 in the morning, but maybe within the next day, I want to check and just make sure that Google Meet is working for me. Make sure I've got everything going. I tested it locally and it performed well enough. I just want to make sure it goes out on the air.
Hey, Doc. Yeah, Bub, the thing is that it's like every time I've loaded up Google Hangouts, it gives me the message it's going away August 1st. But then on one of the Google blogs, somebody else was telling me that Google said that it's going to be around at least until October.
I saw that. That was the message or the news piece I saw about going away in October was dated January. What was the one you saw? Do you remember the date on it?
Well, it doesn't have a date on it. It's every time I load Google Hangouts, it comes up.
I mean, the one that says October.
So, I was getting that secondhand.
Oh, okay, fine.
So
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it was dated.
Alrighty then. Yeah, so the best we can do is the one I've got, which was dated, I think, like 18 January or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so better have something else prepared by Sunday just in case.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
have, there's no telling what they're going to do. And,
I have the
keeping the creators up on their changes is not one of their strong points.
Yeah, I have the suspicion even they don't know what they're doing.
Yep. I say that, and then I have to think, other than being popular, does YouTube have any strong points?
Hard to say.
It's just that the Google management doesn't seem to be doing anything that makes sense to anyone.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I have heard that in so many words.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest part of it is I think they're feeling that they don't need to deal with the little creators anymore, that they've got enough, corporate accounts that they don't really want to deal with the little stuff.
I would say I'd like to see that come and bite them in the ass, but if it did, we would be up Schitt's Creek also.
Yeah, well, the only way that could turn out well for the small creators is if there was another platform we could migrate to.
And that's the thing.
Unfortunately, right now, there isn't anything else that's well enough known.
Yeah, there are the other platforms, but they don't have the popularity. And that's the thing. And a lot of people just won't move to them because they don't want to learn something new. I have my thoughts on that, and they range from, okay, I get it, on alternate Tuesdays to Jesus Christ, what the hell are you? Everything is learning something.
Well, one of the obvious things that YouTube doesn't get is that to have big channels, you have to let small channels start out and have a chance to grow.
Yeah. Because the big channels will not last forever.
That.
Yeah, the big channels were once small channels.
Yeah.
I can imagine a time, I don't remember the time offhand, when PewDiePie had, like 100 subscribers.
Well, one of the ones that's pretty big now is College Humor. And that's, I remember when that was a pretty small channel.
Okay, then.
I don't, it was going fairly well by the time I really got to using YouTube on a regular basis, but, I'm sure it's like in the millions now when it was probably only at about 200,000 a couple of years ago.
Oh boy. Bubba made a tinfoil hat today.
Who did?
Beelzebub, Bubba.
Ah.
He's got a video coming up, and I guess he needs a tinfoil hat for it. Okay, then.
Yeah, when I get a camera, I'm going to have to make one.
I'm going to have to come up with something. A way to entice people on my channel, a way to think of people to entice onto my channel. That's the first thing I need to do.
Yeah. Well, I know what I'd like to do, but it's kind of like, it's what I'd like to do, and there's, what I actually have the understanding of the tech and the software for, what I actually have the talent to do, and what would I wind up spending, like 40 hours to do a 10-minute video.
Yeah. Oh, that's always fun.
Well, so with all that together, I don't really quite know what I'm going with yet. And I'm really doing stuff live on camera. I'm not that comfortable with. So even when I have a camera, it's not something I'm likely to be using really all the time.
Oh man, what would really be fun, and it's too bad. It's too bad we've kind of had a little bit of a falling out there. I remember Peter, Peter DeTucker, gonna go for it with his animated characters under OBS. It would be great for you to have an animated Triceratops.
I didn't realize you'd had a falling out with him.
Well, we have. He hasn't spoken much to me in the last few months. I mean, if we haven't had a falling off, then he's just too busy to speak with me, I guess.
Well, I know he has been busy. He's doing something about starting up a new channel.
Yeah, he and
I don't hear a lot from him. I just see little bits on Twitter now and then.
yeah, he and Artie were getting something started.
Yeah, and I know in the meantime he has been just doing random artwork for a lot of people. Hey, Bob, I sent you a link if you want to come in here. Now that we're sure everything's working normally. So,
And then, of course,
that was basically everything I wanted to test. So,
and then, of course, this will die right in the middle of the conversation, so that'll be fun, right?
yeah, well, like I said, I'm just wondering if it's going to hold out till Sunday or if we'll wind up getting chopped off at some point there.
Well, if anything gets chopped off, hopefully it's nothing unimportant.
Yeah.
Nothing
as far as
important.
the tinfoil hats, I think Simon Dan has the great piece of animation at the beginning of his Tinfoil Tuesdays, where he shows just the tinfoil hat hovering in the middle of the screen, and then you see like the beam come down, like the UFO abductions, and sucks him up into it.
Uh-huh.
It's a good opening for the stuff he does. Okay, Bob. Thanks for helping us test it. You get some sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably just be doing these, periodic random tests over the next couple of days to see if it's still staying around or if I have to desperately learn something new in a hurry. I'm not really good with learning new software that fast.
It would be a little easier if the software people wrote decent manuals, but that seems to be a lost art.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time I actually saw any program that had a manual. Even the ones that supposedly have online tutorials, to me, it always seems that they're always written with the assumption that if you haven't used a previous version, you've at least used something that was very much like that.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever done for someone who has never run an OBS before.
Uh-huh. And it's always the software that has the learning curve as steep as Blender's that does shit like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Blender, I'll get around to learning that eventually. And there is a channel that's been running an ongoing tutorial of it. So I'm sure if I went back all the way to the beginning of that. But, learning to do animation is still far distant future for me.
Oh, man, I have nothing but respect for the what's the word? Proficient animators.
Yeah.
One in particular, but that's another story.
Yeah. Now, if I could find software that would let me do it with, like a webcam, I actually did have a little experience doing stop motion animation. Yeah, I had played
Uh-huh.
with it when I was in high school with a Super 8 movie camera.
Yep. Yep. Friend of mine did that as well.
Yeah, I took I had all the Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica figures. So I had done some stop motion animation with those, and I had done some with just doing paper cutouts. So if I could get software that would let me do that with a, regular webcam, then I could probably do some animation that way. Not that it'd be great stuff, but I mean, look how far South Park got with the rather cheesy animation they do.
Oh man, the paper cutouts.
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing that I used to do. That I had like one that was a thing about the Loch Ness Monster, that the monster was all cut out with construction paper, with just the joints just tacked together so the limbs could, pivot and that.
Oh man, the one that really amazed me, a friend of mine back in high school did a stop motion where he was in a position where it looked like he was driving, but of course there was nothing there. He just had his hands up as if they were on the steering wheel, and he was sitting on the ground, and he's driving along a couple lawns and down the street and around fire hydrant, and you have to get into position, take the
Yeah.
shot, get up and move, and get back into position such that your hands and arms and stuff are in the same relative position they were in the previous shot. Otherwise, they're bouncing all over. Fuck.
Yeah, that
And
would be hard enough to do even if you had someone else to run the camera.
yeah, and he managed it. It was beautiful. I'd really like to know if he still has that film.
Hey, Orla.
Hey, yeah, 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 yeah,
We're
yeah.
just messing around. This was just a random test to see if they'd killed Hangouts yet, but so far it seems to be working. So, I do have a thing on my Amazon wish list that I think is actually the software designed to help me do something like that. It's specifically geared for doing animation with Legos.
Ooh,
So, that's something that, again, it would take a considerable investment of time to build the scenery and such, but I've got plenty of Lego.
okay, 5 to 600 still pics. So that's not one. That's not one image per frame, then, right? That's multiple frames per image. Because, well, okay, let's say a television rate um, at um, at 60 frames per second, 600 still pictures would be 10 seconds. Um, that would be interesting to find and see what they did. Well, yes, I'm weird.
No, I think it'd be interesting to see. Well, you are weird, but that's kind of besides the point. It's not directly
Yeah, I
relevant
knew
to
that.
us.
Yeah, I revel in it.
So, I caught part of Angie's stream test there. I managed to catch the bit you talking about, the pocket fisherman.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So have to let Sloth Girl know about that you were talking about that in another stream.
Yeah, you gotta get out there and gotta do the fishing. I do have to do that. See what there is to catch and
Oh,
what?
well, Bub came so close. His 400 subs, he's at 390 now.
Oh man.
Tweet it out. Let's see if we can do something about that. Yeah, I mean that would be cool if we could just get him those last 10 subs by the time he gets up in the morning.
That is goes for you, yes.
So, yep. I'm going to send that out on Twitter, although I'm sure that everybody who follows me on Twitter has already seen this by now, but maybe if somebody retweets it.
Oh my, I'm just looking through my Twitter feed here. And there was a plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 7 gigantic buds. Caption reads, "You have 3 hours to finish this to win $1 million. Who are you going to call to help you?" And after finishing off that much grass, I don't know if I would be able to see the $1 million to collect it.
I might go for that challenge because it seems pot doesn't have much effect on me.
Okay.
Wouldn't that really suck if they made the challenge and they found someone who's actually immune to the stuff? No, I've actually only gotten high twice in my life, and I've had many friends try, and tell me it was the most excellent stuff, and everybody else got blown off their ass, and I'm like, okay, when's something going to happen?
Oh my. And then there's this person over here on this end of the microphone. If I begin coughing with a lungful of pot smoke, I am just gone for the day. There was one point back at uni the first time we were doing 2-hit 4-foot bongs. So I load up the bong, I take the big lungful, I'm holding the lungful of pot smoke, and I start coughing. And immediately I am so high I cannot see. Literally, I cannot see. The static you get when you close your eyes?
Yeah.
That's what I saw when my eyes were open. Somehow I managed to stumble across the hall, fall into my bed, my roommate had McLeod on the television, and I'm getting these weird ass hallucinations to the McLeod television show while I'm high off my fucking arse. Yeah, that was a hell of a day. And there's the thing. In 4 days, and I'm going to do a celebratory little thing here on the 5th. In 4 days, it'll be a year that I've been away from tobacco. So I can imagine what I'd be like if I tried to inhale pot smoke.
Well, that'll be on Sunday then, huh?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sunday's the 4th.
Well, that's
Monday's
definitely an
the 5th.
occasion that's worth observing.
Yeah, it's the only problem is that was worth 30 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that's common from most people who have quit smoking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been trying like hell to lose weight for the last, I would say, 4 years. And this smoking quitting isn't helping any. I mean, I was at 205 when I was first starting to try to quit, or no, start to try to lose weight, and I've only gained.
Yeah.
So I do not know. Oh, let's see what we got here. Oh, I see you like my reply. You're tweeting the stream out. For anyone who has not seen it, is anyone awake to help me do a quick streaming test? Only plan on running a couple of minutes, and where I heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah, hanging up voice seems to be a difficult part.
Oh man, I am not knowing for you. Oh, here's what I need. On my Twitter feed, Samsung released a new defrigginator that can speak and answer questions. And the person who posted it, or retweeted it, I should say, posted up, "That's your third bowl of ice cream, you fat bitch." That's funny.
What?
Say again?
That just seemed weird.
Oh, from a talking defrigginator. I wonder if he's still around. I wonder if he still does that. I was getting... Well, I called him my father-in-law, even though Melody and I were not officially married. But he started using some of the words and phrases that I was known for using. And every time he would, Melody would glare at me. You've got my father talking like you.
Yeah, it happens when you spend too much time around anyone.
Yeah, I understand that somebody is beginning to use words and phrases I'm known for.
Yeah, a few people.
Oh, no, there's more than one? Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, Sloth Girl's picked up a couple of years. And I think a couple of times I've been doing it too, so.
Well, I think you did a moo at one point.
Well, I did on, one of your Facebook comments I did. It was something you had posted on Facebook that Sloth Girl had responded to, and
Yeah, there
so
you go.
that seemed to be the most appropriate response at that point.
Well, Doc, I don't know that Google ever sufficiently explained why they are getting rid of Hangouts.
They never really explained it, and this is supposition on my part, but I think it's because Hangouts are free and they want you to move to Meet, which they could charge you a monthly fee for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see David's here. Hi, sweetness. Yeah,
Oh, David Morley. Okay.
they're getting my
Other
$6.
David.
Yeah, we've got a few Davids here. We've got a David 1,
Yeah.
David 2, sort of like.
Basically, I think that, Google is trying to get the idea that they don't want to give anything away for free anymore. They want to make sure that you're paying a subscription for every service you use.
Yeah, and it's kind of the way they did it reminds me of a drug pusher. There was a commercial a number of years ago with somebody who had a grade school kid in his car and going over the how to push drugs. Yeah, and
Yep.
you give it away, and the whole bit. But I don't make any money that way. He said, "You will when they come back."
Yep.
And then
I think I remember that commercial.
yeah, and the same thing here is when they get you hooked on Hangouts, for example.
Yeah.
Then okay, you buy your service to continue using the thing that they withdrew. Like somebody I know, somebody over here in this chair, um, spending the $6 a month for the
Yeah.
Hangouts.
Well, but I think what they don't realize is, like, they're pushing the YouTube Red service for people to watch videos. And I think a lot of people, the only reason they're watching YouTube is because it was free.
Yeah,
And if they're going to have to pay $5 a month, then why bother with YouTube? They'll get Netflix or Amazon Prime.
yeah.
So I think Google is failing to realize who their audience is.
Yeah, it's going to be really great for us if Google decides to charge a monthly fee to watch YouTube at all, and watch especially the small YouTube channels, watch their audiences drop.
Yeah, well, YouTube is doing everything in their power to keep the people creating content for them without paying anyone for it.
Uh-huh. And yeah, Doc, everything is so friggin' money, money, money. I mean, I understand that it takes some cash to keep an operation running, but when you get all greedy and you want it all, it's sort of like the couple that killed the goose that laid the golden eggs.
Yeah. That's, I don't think that YouTube will really survive if it goes to corporate accounts alone.
Oh, right.
Because,
no, it will not.
What made YouTube popular in the first place was that it was amateur content. It was that anybody could put stuff out there, and you could see stuff from people basically just doing their hobbies.
Yeah. I mean,
there was a lot of good stuff. Some people put out some good tutorials.
yeah.
A lot of people put out stuff on different hobbies. I picked up some good woodworking tips. I learned how to fix some things on my car through YouTube.
Well, I still like watching some of the home chemistry, hobby chemistry channels. We're not into synthesizing drugs or anything here. But it does get into a little bit of the organic chemistry that I miss doing. I said on a show recently, I miss Organic Lab, man. So just to watch the procedures kind of brings memories back. Now all I need is the aroma of diethyl ether to go along with the YouTube videos, and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what diethyl ether is, but I get your meaning.
It is a solvent. Wait a minute. Oh, hi, Sweetness. Upside Down Sweetie is here. I didn't see you come in.
Oh, hey, Nacha.
Do you know, you're familiar with the starting fluid for engines that you spray into the carburetor and then
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Diethyl ether is related to that starting fluid. I think the starting fluid is either dimethyl ether or methyl ethyl ether or something like that. Diethyl ether is just a little bit heavier. It's useful as an organic solvent.
Okay.
And it has a unique aroma. The only way I could describe it is an ether-like aroma, and that doesn't help any, does it?
No, I can't say I really remember what ether smells like, but I know I've smelled it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one of my profs, my neuroanatomy prof, liked the aroma of Xylene because he was using that as a solvent in her laboratory for a good period of time.
Yeah, Kat would have really liked just talking with you. You guys could have gotten to some of the chemistry stuff.
Was she a chemist?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Well, we used to talk about the chemistry sets we had as a kid.
Oh my God, yes.
But yeah, also in college that she was, going for a chemistry degree until her health made her drop out. And she had actually already begun to do some work in a pharmaceutical lab.
Oh my word! Oh yay! God, yeah, I loved those chemistry sets that you could get, 50 years ago, that contained stuff that could kill you. And so few of us died. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's something else we talked about, that considering the toys we had as kids, and you didn't have lawsuits like you have now.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone is going to argue with me on this one or not. I have a feeling that it may not have been the only thing, but one of the major things that kickstarted all the lawsuits was barristers advertising. When you got law firms advertising on radio and television, people knew the numbers to call.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that was a big part of, where it started inflating so rapidly. You see what David said in the side stream there. We could simplify pronouns if we just replaced he, her, they with Dave.
There you are. For example, Dave's money got stolen. Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't use that around here. It's still too soon. Dave was my sister's husband. He died less than a year ago.
Oh, my condolences. You got a lot of people dying on you.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, he was a case that, he'd had a history of back problems before he moved here. But when he moved here, they did not want to give him the drugs that he'd been getting before. So I'm sure that functioning for that long under that much pain, I'm sure was a contributing factor to the number of times that he was taking falls.
Okay.
You know, I'm sure it gets to a certain level where just your muscles and joints just aren't very coordinated anymore.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So that's, you know, it was eventually a fall down the stairs that killed him, and I think that could have been avoided, you know, if they'd been willing to give him the drugs that he had been taking before.
Oh man, I remember one of my profs going on a tirade when class started one day, to the effect of heroin is the best pain reliever we have in our inventory. Now, this was, I think, 95 when he was saying this. I think there are better pain relievers now. And is perfect for people like terminal cancer patients. But the FDA, in its infinite wisdom, will not approve it for these people, because they might get addicted. It's beautiful, the irony of the whole thing. You know, FDA afraid of terminal cancer patients getting addicted to heroin.
Yep. Hey, Notched Worley, thanks for retweeting that. Let's see if we can just get Bub a few more subs here.
Oh,
Just see if we can get him 10 more by morning to push him over the 400.
well, let's see. Wait, where did I put everything? I'm not sure where I put everything. It's in my not to knowing over here. Well, I'm just going to have a look here. Okay.
Hey, Jen.
Wait, who's here? Is Jen here?
Yep.
Hi, Jen.
Jen's little corner.
My next question was going to be, which Jen? We've got so many of them running around.
Yep, almost as many as David's.
Yeah. Okay, so, 34, 600. Okay, I only need, okay, guys, you may want to write this down. I only need 9,634 subscribers to make it to 10,000. No, huh?
Well, I've got a lot further to go than that myself, so.
There you go, Dave. You'll have to do another interview with me again.
But I did publicly announce that if I get 288 subscribers, I will get a camera and do a face reveal on my 2 Gross stream.
That will be fun.
So I'll need another 107 subscribers now. And actually, I think the price has come down a bit. You know, I've been watching the Logitech web cameras at Walmart.
Okay.
You know, I know they've got one available there now for under $50 that does at least 1080.
I wonder if is that the C900, the one I've got?
I think it's in that series.
or did they? I wonder if they went from C900 to C1000 or something. Yeah, I've actually got two of them. I bought one when I started working for Dr. Jones. So that would have been, oh gods, 5 years ago. At the time, was about $80. But then just a few months ago, I bought a second one so I could have one camera for each machine, which made things a little easier. If I had to run from one machine to the other, I didn't have to change the camera, the whole bed. I had one already, and everything was good. At that time, the same basic camera was about 50.
Yeah. If I'm recalling, basically it was like, it's like the C920. But to make it cheaper, it does the 1080 30 frames a second. But just to make it cheaper, they changed it from like being a stereo microphone to being a mono microphone.
Oh,
And
okay.
since I've got a separate microphone anyway, that wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah. Let's see.
So yeah, I think they've got that one for under $50 now, which I still have to save up for. It's not like I've got $50 that I can just throw away all the time.
I know that feeling.
Martin Nielsen. I feel like I've run across you somewhere before, but I can't think of where.
He's a regular in the audience at movie night.
Oh, okay. He's usually a movie night.
He and his wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Morton and Linda.
Okay. Yeah, it looked familiar, but I'm horrible with connecting things like that.
Jeez, I'm looking over here. I want to see what the particulars are on this particular camera. Okay, here's the overview. Okay, still image resolution up to 3.0 megapixels. For clarity, video capture up to 1280 by 720 for lifelike detail and motion. 16 by 9 aspect ratio provides a widescreen view. VGA image sensor with the right light technology, built-in microphone with the right sound technology, USB 2.0 connectivity. It's $18 at Best Buy.
Which one is that you're looking at?
This is Logitech C270.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I think they had one along that line too at Walmart, but I didn't think it was that high resolution. So.
Yeah, 1280 by 720 isn't that bad. It's not the greatest, but it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, I figured these days you had to go with at least the 1080.
I mean, I'm doing all my work in 1080. Oh, yoy. The one thing about doing scripted videos, to do a better job with those that would really want a better camera, I've been using my my Canon, the T5. But the
Yeah, I don't
problem,
know enough about the cameras either, so.
it's their low end, entry level camera. It does a pretty good job, but it's certainly not Ansel Adams, anything like that. But the problem it has is it shuts itself off after a given set of conditions is met. Um, Depending on the resolution, it's either a certain time has elapsed or the file has got to a certain size.
Yeah.
And when
Morning, nerdy.
and yeah, I've run into a couple problems with that when I was doing Transgender Chef. I lost bits of video.
Yeah, because you were still talking and the camera had shut down.
Yep. So, yeah, if I really want to get back into that stuff again, and I do, I'd have to work on getting a camera that doesn't have those limitations.
Okay, well, I was actually supposed to be in bed by now, so I need to shut this down.
David, you're asking cook live? Yeah. I was filming myself cooking, cooking live, doing the food prep, everything.
Actually, I hope the stuff that you were cooking was dead, but
there you go. Well, the vegetables were still alive. I'll have everyone know that when you are eating lettuce or you are eating carrots or when you are eating onions, they are still alive. Were they dead, they would be rotting.
well, isn't there something in between there, though? I
I don't
mean,
know.
before they're rotting, but after you chop the roots off, are they still alive?
Yeah. I mean, especially the green leafy things, they're still photosynthesizing and everything. Um, that's why you want to eat the stuff rather soon after you buy it. I
Well, isn't
remember.
that kind of the same as saying that somebody who's been decapitated may be alive for a couple of minutes?
So they say. Now, I don't know if they're conscious because I'm thinking that getting your head chopped off would induce a shock, that sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
a
Okay. See now you're getting me talking again, and I'm trying to shut down.
this happens every fucking time. I know.
Yeah.
It's a fresh
So
strawberry smoothie still alive. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, my freshman bio teacher surprised everybody in class one day saying that. You vegans out there eating your salads, those are alive. You heard a few gasps. I miss Dr. C.
yeah. Well,
He's cool.
vegetarians are just people who are committed to only eating things that can't run away.
Yes. And the kittiness over there said, meow, 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 meow. I don't know if the mic is picking that up or not.
Oh yeah, it is. Sammyson's ears are twitching. He's trying to pretend he's asleep, but he hears her.
Kittiness. Meow. Yes, you. How would you like to say hi to Sandy-san? She shot up in a big hurry.
Okay, there. Now that should get rid of all the white lines in my chat.
You kitty. Damn cat.
Okay, well, I am going to shut this down here
Okay.
because I got to get up kind of early in the morning and do things during normal hours of other people. I hate that.
I got you on that one.
People expecting me to function during daylight hours.
Icky. Ugh.
Yeah. But I got a list of chores I got to do, and if I don't get them done in reasonable time, I'll run into some problems.
Oops.
You know, the standard sort of beginning of the month business.
Uh-huh.
And bills that need to be paid by certain dates.
I have a couple days to wait for that. I get my check on the 3rd. Well, actually, I'll get it tomorrow because the 3rd is Saturday.
Yeah, they're not always real consistent about that. I've known a couple of people on it. It's like generally they'll get it by the 3rd. It might come on the 1st. It might come on the 3rd.
Okay.
About the only time they're ever sure it's going to show up early is if the 3rd is a holiday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will talk to you all tomorrow.
Alrighty, sweetness.
Thanks everybody for showing up. I actually had just planned on deleting this as soon as it was finished, but what the heck?
Moo.
We have a conversation here, so I might leave it alone.
Yay.
I'll just have to give it a better title.
Something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, hitting the red button.
Have
Bye-bye
fun,
all.
kids.